Hi everyone, welcome back to Aidans Railways. We'll have a little trip to the model shop. Let's see what bargains we can find. So first up we have this 7-plank Ocean wagon. Ocean written on the top with its running number of 921. It's got tear of 5-18-3 and a load of 10 tons printed on the side. It's exactly the same on the opposite side. The entire chassis is a one-piece moulding, so all your buffers, all of this brake rigging, this detail, and the actual chassis metalwork, everything like that, it's all one moulding, and it shares that moulding with a number of other items that I've purchased, like this truck. It's exactly the same chassis. It must have been used throughout lots of the Made in England models. But anyway, we've got this 7-plank wagon. Only paid about £4 for this. It's ideal for what I'm going to be doing when I'm building up all of my freight rolling stock. It means it gives me the opportunity to weather these things up, try a few different techniques, things I haven't tried before, and not be as worried about damaging the actual item. But it's a very nice 7-plank wagon. It's got what I would refer to as the silver seal wheels. I'm unsure at the moment as to whether or not I will actually keep those wheels. They are the same on all of these wagons that I've managed to get a hold of. I'm very tempted to change them with the more modern style of wheels. I think the silver is just a little too in your face. You can't really weather them because that will then transfer onto the track. So I don't fancy trying to do that. But you can see here we have got moulded buffers. It's a metal D-shaped coupling with the longer of the tension hooks. Inside there's a little bit of detail, but I'm going to try and put some dummy loads into the wagons that I get hold of second hand, and even with some of the new ones, just to add a little bit more detail. Obviously if I'm going to weather them up, it makes sense to do so. But there's the Ocean wagon. Now next up we have got the Bird's Eye box van here. Bird's Eye fish fingers 14901 with a 12-ton load. Now this is the exact same chassis as we have just seen on the Ocean 7-plank wagon. It's absolutely identical. Metal D-shaped couplings. This actually has the shorter of the tension coupling hooks. There is a certain amount of rivet detail and things like that, but it shows its age, and in fact you can actually see that the roof itself has gone quite a yellowy, creamy colour. I would imagine through fading with light, sunlight probably, but I think this will be coming off because they're very easy to just lift off there, and I think they'll be getting painted a roof grey, something like that. Yet again, I'm going to use all of these for practicing my weathering techniques. So we've got this lovely fish fingers and bird's eye print on the side as before. It's all moulded buffers and things like that. A certain amount of detail on the ends, but it is typical of its time, and it has what I would call those silver seal wheels. Now, interesting enough, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera here, but on this side we've got like a spoked silver seal wheel, and on this side we've got a disc style silver seal wheel. So they don't even match. Not that you'd really notice going around the track, but I definitely think I'm probably going to start. I'll replace these wheels on these items and get them to more modern standards of wheels put on them. But there we go with the Bird's Eye fish fingers van. So next up we have the Smith's Crisps. Crisp snacks and nuts. Now this chassis does at first glance almost look identical to the chassis of both the Ocean and the Bird's Eye ones, but it's actually not. I think it's a more updated version, and you can see it's quite a shine in the plastic there. It's very, very similar. The main differences, I would say, are that the tension lock couplings are actually part of the moulding. Now on the fish fingers and the Ocean one, I'll bring it over here, you'll see that it's a metal one which has like a small brass rivet holding it on. So the Smith's Crisp one is actually got a sort of like a more revised chassis, let's say. Still shows its age. Everything is just a one-piece moulding on the bottom here, but we've got these smaller tension coupling hooks there. Pretty much the same moulding To be honest, as this older bird's eye one, it looks almost identical. It probably is. And I'm just have a quick look and let's just see. Although it would appear that the roof on this one has been glued down. Not that it's going to matter because it's in a more suitable dirty grey colour. But this should be a good one to weather up with it being so light. And I would say it's more of like a creamy white, that the box fan. So that should be quite an interesting one to weather up. So there we go, the Smith's Crisps, Snacks and Nuts. Now here's one I think absolutely everybody has owned at some point. I do remember having some of these in the past when I was younger, is the Prime Pork. I remember having a few of these in fact, but I think they were actually Triang ones. But so it shares the same chassis as the Smith's Crisps one, a more updated version, but still the made in England. As you can see, it's got the moulded D-shaped couplings. It's missing its tension hooks. That's something I'm going to look at doing. I might even attempt fitting some other type of coupling. I don't know yet. But these are all intended to be in long rakes of freight traffic. Same detail. It's pretty much. I'm pretty sure that the moulding for the actual box is exactly the same as both the Smiths and the Bird's Eye one. But the beauty is these were only £4 a piece. They're nice and cheap, second hand. They've got a lot of scope there for things to do with the weathering and such like. Change the wheels. Same with this roof. I think we can pop this roof off. This can get painted a nice dark grey roof colour, or black even, and get it all sooted up and things like that. Prime candidates for a little project there, which I think we'll do a video on, see how it goes. But I think everyone's had one of these Prime Pork vans at some point. So yes, there's the Prime Pork. So that's the 4 freight wagons that I got a hold of from the model shop. So let's have a look at what I got a hold of passenger wise in rolling stock. Got a hold of some LMS Composite coaches. They say £5.50. I actually paid £5 for them because I bought all 4. We've got one here that's boxed, which is a brake composite. There's actually more than one. There's another one, another brake composite. And in fact there's a third, another brake composite. But we've got the one ordinary composite here as well. So let's take a look at the ordinary composite here. Now I'm not going to spend too much time on these because I have done this before, mainly because I've got a collection now, I think, of 8 of these LMS Hornby composite coaches with the sort of silver grey roof. In the past I've only paid between £4 and £6 for them. There's something I'm trying to build up, like a number of other things. In the past, you may recall recently I did the LME teak upgrade where I effectively spray tanned them. In a similar way, these will all receive some sort of weathering treatment soon, but I'm trying to build up just a nice good quantity of them because there is some, or rather there are some LMS 462 locomotives and such that I have actually got pre-ordered. So hopefully when they come, we're going to have a nice little rake behind them. So very simply, they all have the same silver seal style wheels. They may stay on, I may change them. I think it really depends on the running characteristics. But looking at some of these wheels, if I can get to focus in on this one, maybe you can see there are pitting and sort of little chunks that are sort of missing out of the flanges and things like that, where they've sort of been maybe handled a bit too rough and things like that. But that's not a big deal for me. It's something that can be changed, and those replacement wheels are very easy to get a hold of. So the print's fairly standard for the age of these. I mean, I remember these back in the 80s, 90s, and in fact, I still think these are still being churned out now in the railroad range. So we're, along with the other, I think it's 8, I think I have. We've got another 4 here, that brings it up to 12. To be honest, I've got quite a few of the brake composites. I think I need to try and get a hold of some more of these, just straightforward composites. Bit of weathering, I think, with the chassis and the bogies and the roofs. Get some passengers inside, maybe do some detail on them, because we have got the compartments in it and you can see the seating there. And I think some corridor bellows stuck on and get them into continuous rakes. If I just bring one of these brake ones over, one of the ones I actually have packed away in the boxes, the rear coupling has actually been cut off and removed, and I think that was obvious because it was at the end of a rake and someone had actually put a tail lamp on. Now this is something I might actually look into doing with these, because about £5 a carriage for these ones, and say 4 to 6 upstairs pounds that I paid on those. Experimenting with them isn't a big problem, so I think maybe a lit tail lamp, oil style, as opposed to the more modern flashing ones, more of a flickering one I think at the rear. These could be quite these could be quite good to get a good rake behind, say, a princess coronation or something like that. So there we go. I got 4 of these wonderful coaches to go together with the others. So what have we got there? There's about £20 for 4 coaches is not bad, and I think it was £4 a wagon. So we've got 28 there, so not much over £30. That's not bad. That's a pretty good bargain model shop purchase, don't you think? Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, click on the round button. If you enjoyed this video and you want to watch some more, there's another video at the top of the screen and there's a playlist at the bottom. See you again soon.